Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you're at in your day. I hope everybody's well. Mr. Regan here, and we're going to be looking at lesson number 20 today. Today's lesson is actually a 2-day lesson. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. And today we're going to be looking at the next side of our GMO debate, and that's analyzing the other side. Up to now, you've done your research, you have compiled your evidence, you've done your write-up, and you've even done some reviewing for your write-up to make sure you have the best final product. And now we're going to look at it and look at both sides of the debate from other people's perspective. So big focus today, big goals. You're going to be analyzing the other side debate for strengths and weaknesses to deepen your own understanding. Okay, part of looking at a topic that has multiple sides, whether it's a political one, whether it's a scientific one, whether it's a day-to-day one like Pepsi versus Coke or Bears versus Packers, whatever, we need to be considerate of both sides. We need to be able to analyze it from an in-depth perspective, and we got to look at it in a way where our opinions and our bias don't get in the way of us being considerate of the entire topic. So today, if you've clicked on this link, great. We're going to get into that in just a second. Today is a 2-day assignment. Today is day one of 2 days. If you're somebody who's like, I want to tackle it all today and be done, great. If you're somebody who's like, I got a lot of work tomorrow, I'm going to tackle it all tomorrow, that works too. If you want to split it up, it is broken up into 2 days. Again, totally up to you. But big thing you need to know is you will be submitting it whenever you complete it. If you do want to do it in the 2 days, I recommend submitting it tomorrow. But wherever you're at, whenever you complete it today or tomorrow, just make sure you submit it. There is no Zoom link available. We don't have any Zoom classes. But if you are somebody who has a question, obviously shoot me that through Google Hangout Messenger. If you do want to have a one-on-one Zoom or a one-on-one Google video chat so you can get caught up with other things or you need help with this lesson, reach out. That's what today is all about, an open day for whatever you need, okay? In that case, that's my spiel to get started. Let's go ahead and look at the lesson. If you clicked on the lesson, you need to copy and paste this into your drive, number one. And number two, you need to have the Flipgrid open. And you need to use the blue 2 topics arrow to select the GMO topic opposite of yours. So what does that mean? That means when you first click on the link, it's going to take you to anti-GMOs or pro-GMOs. You need to pick the topic opposite of yours. So if you were pro, you need to have anti up. And if you were anti, you need to have pro up. Okay? You need to be looking at everyone else's videos opposite of yours. You're going to need those for today's lesson. Obviously, if you're watching me, you've clicked on this link. We're going to look at the document today. We're going to look at both days so that you have an understanding for both. Hopefully, you'll see that once you understand day one, it's pretty much the same for day two, just more in depth. So, big focus. You're going to be analyzing the other side of the GMO debate by watching 5 videos of people who have argued the other side opposite of yours, okay? You're going to be analyzing that side and completing different surveys to help you identify what do you know about GMOs and where's your bias, okay? To see if your understanding of GMOs is evolving and changing over time. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with hearing the other side and saying, oh, okay, my thoughts, my opinions, my understanding is changing, and we're going to kind of take stock of that. Each day, you're going to be completing a survey, a video analysis, and some reflection questions. I believe there's 2, and for those that'll be done for both days. All right. So, reminder, this is 2 days. You decide how you want to break it up or do it in the next 2 days. So, let's go ahead and look at day one. Day one, pretty easy. There's this survey to start off to say, what do you know about the debate and where's your bias? Okay. We need to be able to take stock of those things whenever we have a conversation that might have multiple sides so that we can be considerate of both sides so we don't let our understanding and our bias get in the way of what somebody else might be saying or trying to tell us. It allows us to empathize with the other side in a way that can be considerate and allows for a much more open dialogue and discussion. So let's go ahead and look at what you're going to do. You're going to be looking at selecting an opinion below that you feel best represents your understanding of the GMO debate using that red X. So are you somebody who, when you were researching, when you created your write-up, you found that the evidence against GMOs is much stronger than the evidence in favor? Were you somebody that found that the evidence against GMOs is slightly stronger? Did you find that the evidence in favor is slightly stronger than against? Or did you find that the evidence in favor is much stronger? Based on what you wrote in your write-up, this is where you say, okay, I feel like the evidence against is super strong, or the evidence is in favor is slightly stronger. Wherever you're at, you'll put an X. Okay? All right. So next, we're going to be looking at bias. This is your opinions on it. Okay. This is no longer what do the facts and research say. This is what are your thoughts. It's okay if this doesn't match up with your previous survey. Just because the evidence against GMOs is much stronger doesn't mean you're strongly against it. You have to make a decision based on what you feel is best for you. Maybe the evidence is against it, but you're someone who's like, there's a lot of potential here. I feel like we should be really doing this. This is really great. So maybe you put an X there. Totally fine. Okay. Wherever you're at, we're taking stock so we understand where are we at. Because next, you're going to look at the other side of the debate. You got to be able to say, okay, this is where I'm at. I have to be able to take into consideration the other side. And let's go ahead and look at the video analysis breakdown. You're going to be selecting two videos to watch from the Flipgrid choices. They can be any two. Doesn't matter. You choose whatever one you want. I recommend choosing the ones that you feel most comfortable in watching. I recommend picking the ones that you feel are going to give you the best understanding. I feel that sometimes our videos here, okay, some are a little wonky, I think. Some people even put it there. It's very laggy, or you might need to turn up the volume. You choose whatever works best for you, okay? I don't think the audio works. We'll figure that out later. Either way, let's go ahead and look at how we're going to do this. You're going to be putting in the names of the two people for the video you watched. So I'm going to put in two random people. Donna and Nick, you're the first ones on here. Congratulations. You made the cut. You are now YouTube famous. All right. So from here, we're going to be looking at 5 different things that you should be listening for, looking for in their write-up. And that is the most convincing argument or fact you heard about their side, the biggest concern you had with something they said or the facts they presented, something you never knew before or never thought about, question you had about things they said or stuff you're unsure of, and things you feel you need to research or know more about. Notice these are big questions, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't like here's a quick question and a quick answer you can look for. You really need to think about these things and where they fit in your understanding and bias of GMOs. So the most convincing argument or fact they had. This isn't you looking and saying, this was super convincing. I now am for the other side. This is you saying, okay, what was their strongest fact? This isn't an opinion. This is where is their best fact, their best thought, their best argument for their side. You really have to take your bias out of the conversation. So best argument, okay? Something that really stood out to you. The second one is the biggest concern you had about something they said or a fact they presented. This concern can be something that you're like, ooh, my paper has a counter to that, or I have a fact opposite of yours, or this concern that I have is how you argued for this side, okay? So this is where you have to pull out what was something that you feel isn't well supported or doesn't have good reasoning, okay? Something that you are concerned about, okay? Concern from argument, all right? From there, something you never knew before or never thought about when it comes to looking at that side. So maybe they presented a fact you've never heard before. Maybe they presented a way of thinking about GMOs. You're like, oh, I never considered that, okay? Now we're being considerate of what is something that's new or never heard of, okay? Knew about their arguments. Okay. From here, questions you have about what they said or things you're unsure of. This is something that you listen to and you're like, that is something I have a question about. Where did that information come from? What makes you say that? Is that an opinion? Is that a fact? This is where you really just have to ask yourself, okay, is there any questions I have about what they're saying, or are the things you're unsure of? Maybe they say something you're like, I don't know if that's true. I have a counterfact, or I don't know where they got that information. That doesn't sound quite right. Okay. So questions about arguments. Last thing is things you feel you need to research more to know more about. This is where we have to look at everything that they said and ask ourselves, okay, what do I need to know more about? in order to have a deeper understanding of GMOs. This isn't what do I need to research to be right. This is what do I need to research to understand. They're two very different things, okay? So this is where you have to really listen and say, okay, did they present a fact that maybe I need to research more? Or do they present an argument that maybe I need to watch the video that they watch so I can understand where they're coming from, okay? So, researching their arguments, okay? Just things you need to research, okay? Once you've done it for one person, you're going to do the exact same thing for the second person in the second row. And then you're done with the video analysis. Pick whatever two you want. There's nothing wrong with watching one and being like, you know what, I maybe a different one will give me more, or maybe a different one has a better perspective. There's nothing wrong with that. Task 3 is the same survey as before. This is where you're going to be saying to yourself, did my thinking of GMOs change in any way? Okay, so before I was, the evidence was very much strongly against. I was very much in favor. If you're in the same spot, nothing wrong with that. Okay. If you're somebody who's like, ooh, maybe the evidence isn't as strong as I thought, or ooh, maybe I'm not as, strongly opinionated that we should as before. That's okay too. This is about where is my understanding of GMO and my bias now that I've looked at the other side. Okay. Again, this isn't a competition, right versus wrong. This is, what do I know? Where's my bias? Okay. From here, I want you to explain kind of what you did. Did your understanding change? So that's that first survey. Why or why not? Yes, it changed because I heard this, or no, it didn't change because I didn't learn any new facts, whatever. Did your opinion change? Yes, my opinion changed because. Give me an explanation why. No, it didn't. Here's why. Okay. And then you're done. That's day 1. If you're looking at it like, I need to be done for the day, I need to move on, great. If you're looking at it like, I can knock out the rest, day 2 is doing 3 videos for 3 people. It's one more survey, again, taking stock. Where's my understanding? Where's my bias after this day? And then it's reflecting. Where are you at? Did your understanding change? Did your bias change? And then you'll submit it to that Google form there. Okay. Same Google form that we've been seeing for all of our assignments. And that's the lessons for today and tomorrow. Again, you choose how you want to tackle this. If you want to do it in one day today, one day tomorrow, broken up into 2 days. I have broken up from day 1 and day 2 for you, whatever you need. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.